I don't know if I'm online or not. I am online. Awesome. Okay. Love it when I can't tell if I'm live streaming or not. Okay. Anyways, hello guys. It's me again, Joelle. For some reason my stream seems to be not really connecting to YouTube, but it says my stream is healthy. It's giving a little green dot, so I'm gonna hope that that's true. And again, sorry, weird sides. Have the chat box here for you guys to see. I'm keeping this here for the purposes of those who will be watching this video later. Hello! For people who are just watching it as a video rather than while I'm live, then when I'm talking to the comments and whatnot, it won't be weird. And yeah, it'll feel like you're really here with us. Because the chat doesn't always catch up. The chat isn't shown in the playback of the live stream. But anyways, yeah, I just thought it's been a while since I have live streamed, so I thought I would just bring it back and be able to catch up with people. Sorry, stream lag is funky because I can see it on OBS and I can see it on YouTube, and they're not doing the same things at the same time. So that means I see you guys watching. I'm sorry if I'm lagging. But yeah, so since this is saving as a regular video, I'm going to try to just talk about the things that I want to talk about. Oh yeah, I'm making dinner also. That's in the title of this video / live stream. I'm really just making myself this instant jajangmyeon because that's what I'm having for dinner. So I figured I would talk as I'm making dinner and just catch up with you guys. And hello Ting, welcome. You just catch in the beginning of my live stream. But yeah, so what I wanted to just talk and like catch up about, I guess, with this live stream is just like what I've been learning, since I've been getting some comments on other videos lately saying that people are curious what I've been learning while I've been in BSSM, like what are the updates, since I'm only doing monthly vlogs. Like, I guess there's a lot of room for everything that's happening in my day-to-day life, and I'm sorry, I try to show that on my Instagram story and whatnot, and just like bring people with me on my day-to-day life and stuff like that. But in terms of like, you know, what I'm learning, I feel like I don't share that as regularly, and that was the goal of these live streams, is to just offer this for anyone who is curious what the heck is JustJoelle doing in Redding, California for the year. And as always, I try to keep these like a conversation, so if you have any input or whatever, throw it in the chat. Like, I love chatting with you guys. So yeah, I think a big thing that I've learned just throughout these past couple of weeks and whatnot, I guess I haven't really streamed lately about what I'm learning, because I think the last stream I did was when I was visiting Sean in Seattle, which was awesome, and there'll be a vlog about that soon. But yeah, since coming back, we've had a lot of really awesome guest speakers, and that has been super fun. I heard Chris Overstreet speak, and Tom Crandall, and who is a guy who just, oh my gosh, Todd White. Yeah, he came and visited and spoke, and these are all like crazy evangelists, meaning that they're really awesome people who are super like great at reaching out to people. And they just like love people super well, and they're so good at like demonstrating the gospel in a good, easy way for people to understand. Also, hi to the people who are here and not saying anything. I can just see how many people are watching, so I'm just gonna say hello, even if you're not saying anything. It's cool. I just want to say that I acknowledge you guys are here and appreciate you guys. But yeah, so we had all these like super inspirational speakers come and talk to us, and I think that like one thing that came up as I was hearing them talk was just that, wow, like I don't feel the same feels that they do. Like, these people are super in love with God and they're so excited, and I was just like, I don't necessarily feel that way, and I feel bad for not feeling that way, but I'm just like not that emotional, and like I don't express things, and like I think that's part of the reason why I'm like afraid to like offer to pray for someone or afraid to just reach out to someone, is because I'm like nervous. I'm like, oh, I don't love you enough to not be afraid, because when you love someone well, like not going to be afraid of them, you know? You're just going to be able to love them and demonstrate God's love for them and all that, and that comes a lot more naturally than when you're scared. You can't really offer people much when you're afraid of them, you know? So that was something that like kind of hit me. But I think since then we heard during class today we focused a little more on like intimacy with God. And for those of you who guys have never heard that sort of thing, that's just like when you're a Christian and you have a strong relationship with God, then it's not like you're just reading the Bible and like these words from God that don't mean anything. You're like, no, I've experienced God's love and His power, and I know that He's real. And you know God's plan for you, and you know what He wants for you. And I was like, yeah, I need that. I need to know what God wants for me and like what God's thinking. And I just need like that closeness with God to be able to like share things that I care about and whatnot. I don't know if you guys saw my most recent video on confidence, but that was like a very big step for me. Check it out if you haven't yet. Just posted it today. But I feel like that's like pretty well aligned with the kind of things that people that like I think can be helpful for people. It's just like I have had experience in certain areas of life, and I was like, I should be able to share that. And I feel like just today, like God really confirmed that with me, saying like, no, like this is part of what I made you for, is to like speak life and encouragement into people, and to be able to be there for people in a way where they don't necessarily have like words of affirmation or someone being able to like speak positively towards them. Like a lot of people aren't used to hearing positive things about themselves. So I was just like, you know what? Okay, God, like I am going to, hold true to that and be able to say like, I'm not going to be afraid of what other people think of me and what people have to say about like my experiences, because my experiences and my thoughts are my experiences and my thoughts, like at the end of the day, no one can really argue with like how I see confidence and my identity and whatnot. And if they're gonna argue with me on like what I'm thinking, then that just doesn't make any sense, and like they have no authority to tell me that I'm not thinking that. I'm not saying that it's like the end all be all of what's true, but I'm just saying like I just am able to share my experiences. And I think that's something that I really hope to do more through YouTube. So I guess if you guys hopefully you guys would be interested in seeing more videos about just like life and talking about like things that I'm going through and things that I've like learned and grappled with, and hopefully I'll be able to like share that with you and do that in a productive way, just because I feel like I have this YouTube channel, I have this platform to like connect with people in a really cool way, and I want to actually be able to do that with things that are important, not just things that are that are, fun, but don't necessarily make like a lasting impact in people's lives. Like, sure, like makeup videos and fashion videos are like cool and great and fun, but at the end of the day, like that's not the best thing I have to offer. Let's be real. I am not a fashion or makeup expert. Like fashion, I'm wearing a sweatshirt and like an oversized t-shirt and like flowy pants right now, and clearly I'm not an authority on fashion, but in terms of the things that I do know, such as, how I've grown to be confident and like identify as a confident person, like I hope that I can share that with you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy the content that I put out, and hopefully it is like relevant and helpful to you guys. But anyway, sorry, I've just been rambling a lot on just like things I've been thinking about, but my water is boiling, so I'm gonna start making my instant noodle dinner. And okay, sorry, to look at the chat, it says, Lou's saying it's not good to have fear, but your greatest fear is yourself. I wouldn't say my greatest fear is myself right now, but I'd say one of my greatest fears is probably rejection, which I think is something that a lot of people can identify with, but I am just like, not even like rejection in terms of like friendship or like romance, but I'm afraid of people thinking that I'm crazy, or me being really excited about like offering someone something and then them just being like, no, like I don't want that. So especially like obviously when we're talking about like people who share the gospel really freely, like I'm scared that someone's gonna think that it's weird and like not receive it, and it'll be a waste, and then Olive looks like a fool. And yeah, that is something that I definitely personally am afraid of. If you guys feel free to, you know, leave your fears in the chat. I know it's really deep, intimate information, but if any of you guys can identify with what I struggle with, that's cool too. Camaraderie is great. Sorry, oh my gosh, I'm making a mess. Clearly, I'm making a mess. I'm making this JustJoelle, and hopefully I don't, you know, ruin anything. And Wu says, I've been rejected by people because I'm an outsider and nobody. What makes you think that you're an outsider? Are you letting other people tell you that you're an outsider, or are you identifying as an outsider? Because I would say that no one is born an outsider, and if they're on the outside of something, they also have to be on the inside of something else. But that's just me. Okay, so I'm supposed to cook this for 5 minutes. And they're all chunky and stuff. Ew, there's a hair, that's so gross, oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm supposed to cook this for 7 minutes. Okay, while cooking, prepare sauce powder. I'm mixing it with 3 tablespoons of water set aside. Oh my gosh, I realized I didn't do this last time I made this. I didn't make the sauce ahead of time. I just threw it in the pot, and I was wondering why it was such a weird, like, thick texture. And okay, well, clearly I did something really wrong last time, so I'm going to start making the sauce also while I am talking to you guys. Okay, Alondra says, I've been a Catholic my whole life but never really understood God and his ways because my family isn't the type to go to church. Till very recently, I made a decision to let God be my savior. That's awesome. I am super glad to hear that, and I'm like, I definitely want to encourage you in that. But yeah, I think that like, there's so, like, that is so cool because you're just like starting this amazing journey with God, because there's so much to like the Christian life that most people don't really like go into. But even just like reading the Bible and really understanding like who is God, like clearly he gave us the Bible to learn about him, so like if we can use the resources that we've been given, then we can definitely learn about God's nature, you know. So sorry, I'm making sauce, so that's why I'm over here. But I'm super excited for you, Alondra, and I think that's really cool. And you honestly have so much to look forward to. Like, I've been a Christian pretty much my entire life, and I am always learning new stuff about God and like about myself because I'm learning about God. And I think that that is like one of the best things about Christianity, is that there's always, there's just always more to learn and more to gain. And I don't know if I'm doing this right. Anyways, yeah, I think that's really cool. So you got a wild journey ahead of you, and I think it'll be amazing. And there's so much. And if you ever need if you ever want to talk about anything, hit me up. And Wu says not the Pope as a savior. That's a plus. I don't think anyone teaches the Pope as a savior, because that's definitely not Catholic. I went to Catholic school. Fun facts. I'm not Catholic, but I did go to the school, and that was an interesting time for sure. Because it was weird, because like I believed a lot, like I agreed with a lot of stuff that they taught, but since I wasn't like baptized Catholic, I wasn't really included in a lot of things. So that was kind of sad, but it's fine. It was good. I learned a lot in Catholic school. Okay, so I'm mixing this sauce, and it looks really funky. It's like super powdery. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I also don't know how long my noodles have been cooking. I checked my watch and totally didn't actually keep track of the time. So that was dumb. Bad job, Joelle. Also, I feel like you guys probably think I'm such an incompetent cook because every time I live stream, when I say I'm like cooking, I'm not actually cooking. Like this time I'm making literally instant noodles, and then last time was when I was with Sean, and I just ended up talking to you guys the whole time, and he cooked everything, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for like not actually helping, you know, but I promise I'm a good cook. I don't set things on fire or anything. Okay, so I'm turning the heat off of my noodles and gonna strain it. Okay, it looks pretty solid. yeah, I don't know. I want to hear what you guys are thinking because the chat is very quiet, and I know there are people watching because I can see a little count. But I don't know. What do you guys think about just like in regards to what I was talking about earlier, but like sharing things that you've learned? Do you guys ever like feel compelled to share like lessons that you've learned? Because I don't know. Ever since I was little in high school, like well, little in high school, that's like what, not that many years ago at all, but I felt like really strongly that like I should like share with people like things that I've learned throughout life and whatnot, and you know, whether it's just about high school dances, because that's probably one of my most popular videos, which is super funny, or in terms of like what I'm learning in terms of like spirituality. I've always thought is super important. I'm adding oil to my noodles that came in this little packet and just stirring it around. I know, I think that like there's a real benefit to be able to gain from other people's knowledge and to be able to just like walk with them and like identify with similar struggles, but also be able to say like, hey, like, yo, I've been through that and like it gets better or whatever, you know, like that whole narrative. So I don't know, I just encourage you guys to like recognize the wisdom that you've gained over the years, and yeah, be proud and confident to share that with others, because I think everyone has like a lot to learn from each other. And yeah, I think there's a particular emphasis, you know, on YouTube and like sharing experiences online, but you don't need to do that. Like, I don't think everyone's called to do that, but you guys, I'm sure, all have good friends and stuff that could benefit from your personal stories. So I just want to encourage you guys to, you know, share with each other and be able to use your experiences to encourage one another as well, because I think that is a really cool thing that I'm learning here. Oh, sorry, the microwave's going off because I'm heating up noodles, or heating up veggies to put in my noodles. Yeah, I don't know, that's just so much I feel like what God is like teaching me during this time here. I'm staring at all my noodles. What God's teaching me during my time here is that like I have a voice, that's supposed to be heard, and I think that it, you know, we are called to be, you know, proclaimers of what God's done for us and all the amazing things that we've experienced. And I've experienced a lot of amazing things. So I'm like, you know what, God, you're right. I shouldn't like shut up all the time, even when I'm like, oh, no one wants to listen to me, because my voice is valuable, and there is someone out there that can benefit from what I have to say, which is something that I know I need to like constantly remind myself of. Alondra says, I want to thank you for sharing your experience because your videos help me. Also, thanks for offering your help. I will in having a chat because I feel like I need as much help as I can get. Of course, anytime. Like, I wouldn't make these videos if I didn't want to be able to be a resource for other people. Like, there's no point. Like, I don't make these videos in an isolated setting. There's no point for me to make videos if they're not like reaching people or helping people. So I'm super, super glad that they're able to help you, and I'm really, really, you know, again, just happy for you, and I hope you know that I'm always available for whatever help you might need. Yeah, but, oh, and then she also, Alondra also says, I also want to let you know that I'm applying to Dartmouth, and want to let you know that you encouraged me to apply because of your videos and letting me see your experience at Dartmouth. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Alondra. Wow, that's crazy. That makes me so happy that my videos were able to like show you a little bit of what Dartmouth life is like, because yeah, it's an awesome place. I've obviously had like a good enough experience to want to share it with other people, but I really appreciate that. Also, Hazel's back. What's up? How you doing? Welcome to the casual stream. I'm literally just making myself instant noodles in this pot right here and having dinner and live streaming because it's been a while since I've talked to all of you, so that's why I'm here. Oh, and Kristen Lee says, this feels so interesting because I've only seen your videos, but I've always missed live streams. Well, I'm glad you're here now to experience live stream in all its casual glory. It's funny because, like, these live streams are literally so casual. You know, some people are, like, pro live streamers. Like, my cousin's a pro live streamer, and, she, like, her live streams are, like, so, like, well thought out and planned, and mine are just, like, I just want to chat with y'all. Like, I just want to connect with you guys, because I feel like that's one thing that YouTube doesn't always offer is like the personal interaction and whatnot. And I really love that. I think people often forget that like in the internet, like someone else is on the other side of that screen talking to you. It's not just a username or whatever. So that's why I really like being able to live stream. Sorry, I'm rinsing my dishes right really quick before I start eating. This is the ones I use to start cooking. So that I can eat my dinner. And Hazel asked, can you speak Korean and Chinese? No, I wish. My parents didn't teach me because they grew up speaking, well, like my dad actually spoke Korean at a young age, but my mom, and so did my mom spoke Chinese at a young age. But when they got older, like, you know, once they started going to school and whatnot, like, I'm gonna break something. Okay. English was the primary language they were supposed to speak because, like, school and stuff like that. So by the time they were older, they didn't really speak them anymore. They couldn't speak them to each other because my mom's Chinese, my dad's Korean. So by the time me and my sisters came, there was no point for them to teach us, and I am very, very sad about that. But in exciting news in regards to, like, Korea, that's weird sounding, but you know, I am going to Korea in April on a missions trip with Bethel, with my school, which I am so excited about, because I've never been to Asia. Like, I am just so excited. Oh, and Hazel says, I already know. Yeah, I posted on Instagram for you guys, or, yeah. Did I post on Instagram? I posted on an Instagram story that I'm going to Korea on this missions trip. And so oh my gosh, some of you guys were so sweet, and like if you like, some of my Korean subscribers and stuff were like really awesome, and they like reached out to me like, oh, if like you're able to meet up or anything, like I'd be like super happy to show you around, which was so nice. So I just want to let you guys know that I really appreciate that. I don't know my schedule when I'm in Korea, so like that's the only reason why I can't say like, oh yeah, let's meet up or something, because I don't like dictate my own schedule when I'm there. But it'll be awesome though. And if I'm able to like meet up with people in Korea, like subscribers and whatever, I will be super happy to do that. And I would love to meet you guys. So I'll be posting on my story and stuff, my Instagram story, like what I'll be up to while I'm there and just like what I'm doing. But yeah, as of right now though, I have no idea. Okay, is this far away enough? Is this a good framing? I have no idea. Hazel says, oh, you're so lucky. And yeah, I am so lucky to be able to go on this trip. I'm beyond excited again, because, sorry, my throat hurts. That's why I keep drinking so much water. Also, bon appetit, you guys. This is my jjajangmyeon with vegetable stir fry, and this is my dinner tonight. Oh, yeah, I should pray. Okay, God, thank you for this food, and for my amazing subscribers, and for everyone hanging out with me right now. And using to pray, amen. But yeah, so I've sort of, oh my gosh, is that Spring or Dan? Hi, you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, lol, yay noodles. I'm really excited about this dinner. I've actually been thinking about these noodles like all day, which is probably bad, but yeah. But yeah, you guys might also, I don't know why my framing in the live stream is super narrow. Like, it looks like it's like a widescreen thing instead of, no, it looks like it's a full screen instead of widescreen. Oh my gosh, it's Dan. Hi, Dan. Thanks for saying hi. I appreciate it. Dan, by the way, guys, went to art with me. We danced together in Street Soul. So if any of you guys are like looking at dance or Street Soul, Dan knows what's up because he directed it. And you actually, was he in any of my dance videos? I can't remember. I think he might be. If like, I have some really old dance videos. Not really old. I keep saying really old. It's just from freshman year, and I'm only like technically in my junior year, so really like 2 years ago. But Dan might be in some of those because we're obviously in the same dance group, and I posted dance videos when I was choreographing and whatnot. So that's fun. You can hit that up if you haven't seen my dance videos yet. But anyways, this is so weird. Stop saying he's old. No, I'm not saying he's old. I keep saying I'm old. Yeah. I keep saying, like, oh, when I was younger, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was only 2 years ago. I'm still young, which is dumb. But hi, Spring, guys. Spring is also from Dartmouth, and she's great. This also feels really weird to eat on camera, but I'm really hungry, so I want to eat and continue being able to talk. And Hazel says, oh, I feel so out of place. Why do you feel out of place? Don't feel out of place. You're never out of place. You're welcome here. But anyways, what was I even talking about before I was started? Oh, I talked about being able to go to Korea. And this is something that I've talked about, like, a little bit, I think, just in my confidence video and whatnot. It's really hard to eat and talk at the same time. So, just know that I'm trying to do this. Oh, and Alondra asked, do you like Mexican candy? I haven't had a ton of Mexican candy. I've had Spanish candy, but not Mexican candy, I don't think. So, I don't know. Maybe. Sounds interesting. But anyways, in terms of getting to go to Korea, I am so excited. But anyways, I feel like a little bit of the reasoning why I wanted to go to Korea was basically we had all these options of missionary trip, locations basically, and we had to apply to them and like tell them where we wanted to go and why. And I'm excited because I feel like going to Asia finally and seeing like where my family's from and learning about their culture and whatnot will help repair my sense of Asian American identity, and understanding like the good sides to like my heritage, because honestly, growing up in America and like based off like family history and the way that like my parents were raised and stuff, they didn't always have like super good stories to tell me about like growing up like in super traditional Asian households. Honestly, they made a pretty big effort to raise me very American, because they liked the American values more than the Asian values that they were raised with, because they grew up with like really strict parents or like parents that didn't have like the best marriages and whatnot, and a lot of stuff like that, and that I think really hurt, at least like on my mom's side, like really hurt my sense of like Asian American pride, which is super sad because there's a lot to be proud of in being Asian American. But I was just like, I don't really get a taste of like the good part besides the food, obviously, and like the beauty in aesthetics and culture. But I was like, I don't really know even what it means to be Korean or Chinese, because I didn't grow up around many Korean people at all. Like, there's one other Korean girl in my class in high school, and there was a good number of Chinese people, so I think I had a better idea of like what that was like. But other than that, I really didn't know. And then, oh sorry, in the chat, Hazel asked, where are you staying in Korea? I don't know yet, because I think we might be moving all over, like going to multiple cities and stuff. So I think we'll probably be staying in a bunch of different places, but I have no idea. Alondra says, how long will you be in Korea? I think I'll be there for about 10 days, like 2 days of flight time. I think like April 4th to like 16th, so I think I probably get there on the 5th and then leave leave the 15th? I want to say, so I think I'm there 10 days. And Kristen says, it really, really does. I completely understand where you're coming from. My parents are more in between. My mom is more Koreanized, my dad is more Americanized. Yeah, see, it's interesting, like, learning about people's just, like, backgrounds with, like, Asian American identity, because people are from so many different places and, like, have so many different, like, styles. Or, like, sorry, that was a gross bite. It's been really ugly watching me eat and talk, but I hope you guys don't mind that. Yeah, just, like, I think it's different. It's interesting having, like, my mom be Chinese, my dad be Korean, because those are two different cultures also, and stuff like that. So, different, there's a lot of dimensions to what's going on. Humaza says, hey Joelle, love your videos. Thank you so much. That makes me so happy. I'm glad that you're tuning in, and yeah, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And Hazel says, to be honest, there's no benefit to being Asian American, or as you say. And see, that's what I used to think. That's what I used to think. I was like, wow, this sucks. I have to compensate for the fact that I'm Asian because people won't give me the same amount of respect in like the fields of work that I want to go into. They won't like treat me the same way socially. They won't just like respect what I have to say because they'll be like, oh, it's just another quiet Asian girl or whatever. They'll disrespect my food. They'll disrespect my family. They'll disrespect the way my house smells. And I was like, that's so annoying. But then I feel like God's showing me why I can love being Asian American. And I already did. Like, I think already since coming to college, honestly since high school, I did start to love being Asian American again. But it took it was always like a love-hate sort of thing where I was like, this is awesome because of these parts, but it's also really sucky because of these parts. Sorry, I need to take a bite of food, guys. I'm hungry. But I think God's really like renewing my sense of like, why did he make me like this? Like, there's a purpose. Like, there's no part of me that is by accident or chance or whatever. Like, every part of how I look or whatever is important. And I think that my Asian American identity is also super important for everything that I'm able to do with that. Like, not only can I be proud in like the beauty of my culture and like the hardship and the values of my culture and whatnot, but I can be proud just like that as an Asian American woman who like chooses to put herself on the internet or whatever and like has the skills and talents and like intelligence that I do. I can be really, really happy. Just that God is giving me the opportunities to like represent part of his people in a certain way, and then I can be like someone who's just like, yeah, like Asian Americans are different from what people may think, and I can blow people's minds and expectations, and I can just be really excited. And like also just wanting to go into media, I'm like, yeah, I would totally be happy to deal with stuff like that's difficult for Asian Americans now, so that it can be easier for Asian American girls to go into stuff like that. And like to me, that is like a huge honor. And Woo says, can I make a song request? Skillet Hero. Wait, song request is in like a song to play in the background? Or like, sorry guys, I don't know how to live stream. I don't know what that means. Hazel says, make sure you try potato torpedo in Korea. Awesome, that sounds cool. I don't know what that is, but I will seek it out and try to try it if I have time and if I have jurisdiction over my own diet, I guess, while I'm there. I'm gonna try to try everything when I'm in Korea, guys. Like, yeah, you don't understand how excited I am. And Anjali says, can you make me noodles in 18F? Thanks. I mean, if you hang out with me, maybe. No, I will be happy to make you noodles, Anjali. Don't you worry. Well, assuming I have any. It's kind of hard to get noodles, to be honest, in Hanover because we like live in the middle of nowhere. Oh, also, guys, whenever we have like 18 or 17, like F, W, S, X, all those in Dartmouth lingo refer to the term. So it's 18 is the year 2018. F is for fall. I do that on a lot of my Instagram posts, so I figure I might as well clarify that. And Hazel says, you for sure will. There's a streetcar like everywhere. Yes, street food. Awesome, because that means it'll be cheap and delicious. Dan says, have you never been to Korea before? Nope. Dude, I've never been to Asia. Like, anywhere in Asia. I've been to, like, Hawaii. That's Pacific Islands. But that's literally as close as I've gotten. Which is funny, because I've been to Europe. Like, you guys probably saw, if you've been following my vlogs, that I literally studied in Barcelona, but I've never been to Asia. And I'm like, literally, I'm 100% Asian. Why have I not gone to Asia yet? So that's why I'm super excited to go. And just see what it's like and be able to be all happy and be with Jesus, and it'll be great. And then Moo says, I don't like being Asian. I'd rather be on my own than what Koreans do every day. well, what do Koreans do every day? For example, I'm half Korean. What do I do every day that you don't want to do? I mean, I think there's really, that's one thing that I am also learning about, like, Asian American identity, is that, like, all, like, the stereotypes and whatever, they're put on people by other people that are not them, you know? Like, any stereotype that I have, like, sure, we can, like, start to internalize things, but, like, why would I internalize the bad ones? I'm obviously only going to internalize the good ones, and there are actually a lot of good, like, potentially positive stereotypes about Asians. For example, being smart, or being good at tennis, which I wish I was better at, or just being, like, diligent, and, like, those are all good things. I don't know why I would ever let that be used against me in, like, a negative way, being like, oh, like, you're so studious because you're Asian. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm studious. Not because I'm Asian, but I am studious, so you know what, I'll take it. And just, like, not getting offended. Like, I need to stop getting offended when people are like, oh, like, blah, blah, because you're Asian. Because I'm like, I know that's not true. If they're going to be delusional and think that that is the case, that, like, I'm any particular way because I'm an Asian girl, then, like, they probably just haven't met that many Asian girls yet. And that's their loss, because Asian girls are dope, so they're missing out. And, okay, Wu says, sorry, I'm eating. Wu says, for example, Koreans, they complain about people not being smart or rich, and what diligence they treat me like a guinea pig. You mean Koreans treat you like a guinea pig? I apologize on behalf of Koreans that might have mistreated you, but I don't think it's because people were Korean that anyone treated you poorly. However, when you say that Koreans complain about being rich, about people not being rich or smart, I think that there are, like, cultural flaws, or, like, flawed ways of thinking that, like, persist throughout a culture. And for example, like, that's what I thought a lot about Korean culture, because honestly my mom would be like, don't talk like that, because, like, all of my Korean family would talk about stuff like that, like, who is going to be, like, the smartest kid, or who is the wealthiest, or whatever, and it was really uncomfortable. And, like, sure, that can be part of a culture, but it doesn't define the culture. Just, like, how I can, like, be, I mean, we all have flaws, but I would say that, like, there's a lot more to us than our flaws, and we're defined by a lot more. Like, for example, if people think that, like, I'm superficial, I have a YouTube channel, I want to gain followers, and, like, I post on social media, and I, like, try to get likes and whatever, that can be, like, a superficial goal, but I don't think that, like, that aspect of me, like, really defines who I am. And I think that's the same way with, like, overarching cultures, that there's so much more than, like, the little flaws. And sure, the flaws are flaws, and I'd love to see those things change. Like, I would love to see Asian families that are not super legalistic, and, like, parents who love their kids and show them love even when they don't get straight A's, and, like, parents who are willing to let their kids pursue their dreams rather than just being, like, a doctor or a lawyer or, like, a technician or an engineer. Like, that would be awesome. But that's, like, a growing process, and I'm not going to hold it against, like, Asian people for not doing that. I think it's, like, just, like, a study of grace, honestly, being able to show people grace, and me being able to show my own culture grace, and acknowledging that there is, like, good and bad parts to everything, and that, you know, like, I can be really excited about the fact that I get to, like, be, like, I really hope to one day be, like, a dope like, Korean American mom who is going to, like, treat my kids well, and, like, not get mad at them when they don't get straight A's, and show them that, like, I want them to dream, I want them to be creative, and, like, that's dope. I think that's great that I'm able to do that. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I were anyone else, you know? So, I think there's always, like, a positive way to spin things. Well, actually, okay, I struggle with that. There's almost always a super positive way to spin things, or at least, like, a silver lining to something. Whether it's in, like, the immediate or in, like, later down the road, I think that positive things can come out. And Lou says, I don't like how prideful Koreans are, because they're proud to be sorrowful and laborious. Wow, very articulate word choice. And I'd rather have a culture where people are together, not the same, because that's called discrimination. I actually don't understand that last phrase of what you said, Woo. I'm sorry. But I would say actually one thing that I do think is really cool about Asian culture in general is that like there's like the Eastern mindset versus the Western is actually so much more focused on community and family and all of that than like the individual. Like America is obviously super, super individualistic. And we like really glorify like individuality, which is awesome and great, and I love it. But like I don't know, there's something really beautiful about like the harmonious way that like Asian culture has families working together, or like has communities supporting each other, because it's focused much more on the like we versus I sort of thing. So I would say that like Korean culture in that way is actually really awesome, and it's something that I think like Western culture can learn from in a way. And Zoe says, "Dude, such good parenting goals." Thank you, Zoe. That's really sweet of you. And yeah, guys, let's. Okay, the chat is starting to get a little aggressive, so I'm just gonna say now, like, please, if you have something to say that's gonna be negative, Woo, or Lee, Woo, Lee, or Hazel, or anyone, just be careful what you say. Like, I really want my chat to be like a positive place where people aren't like attacking each other, because this is not the vibe. That's not what people come here for. So if you're going to be aggressive or talk badly about other people, even if like it is just like an opinion, for example, about Korean culture, Woo, I don't want the criticism like that is to the point of illogical in my chat, so I will silence you and I will block you. So just putting that out there also, for those of you guys who are new to my stream. And whoa, why is it saying that my stream went off? My stream never went off. And yeah, we would try to not be negative, please. I'm gonna ask people to just try to stay positive in the chat. And yeah, Zoe says, yeah, collectivist versus individualist culture. So that's very much what I think is also about like Eastern thinking versus Western. And I think there's like, sometimes it's to an extreme where it's like not balanced, where it's like the negation of an individual. I don't think we should ever negate individuals, but I think like within a community, if you like honor the individual, you gain more as a community. That's just how I think of. Mara asked me making dessert too. LOL, I have no idea. Probably not. I'm probably just gonna finish this and I have some work I need to do. But it's taking me a really long time to eat because I keep talking. And yeah. And Zoe says, yeah, the stream lagged. Okay, sorry about that. I have no idea what happened. It just like popped out. Now it's back. But yeah, I don't know. I think it might be the Wi-Fi or something. But yeah, anyways, again, in the chat, if people are gonna continue to be negative, I will block you. So just know that that is something that's within my power. But anyways, okay, what was it? Oh, see, I'm just ranting. That's kind of, I don't know. What do you guys think about like embracing your own culture versus like assimilating into one that you prefer better? Because honestly, because our cultures are tied to like who we are, where we come from, and our identities, and it's really not, to me, it's not actually ever possible to escape your ethnic identity. So that's just my take. Like, even people who want to avoid their own like culture or whatever, or think badly of it, like, you can't. Really, you can't. I have no. That's just my view, at least. Oh, hi, plantain chip lover. Glad that you're back. I'm glad that you're here. Plantain chip lover is an awesome subby, by the way, guys. And Zoe's just asking, does anyone else from BSSM also do social media stuff like YouTube? And actually, one of my good friends, Jessie Holmes, she is starting to do a YouTube channel. She used to have one when she was younger, and then she's gonna like revive it. And like, hopefully we'll be making vlogs and we'll be doing videos together. She is beautiful, by the way, and does amazing makeup. So she'll have like a makeup like in fashion channel, but also I think be vlogging, and I think she's going to get started on it soon. But you can still find her. Her channel's still there, but she's gonna revamp it and start it up soon, I think. And more noodles. My sister just texted me. Okay, so Micah's being really nice, and she texted me saying that she really liked my confidence video, which again, plug for if you haven't seen that. Just uploaded it today, and then and Micah's like, LOL, if Moana didn't follow her dream, her family would be dead. Which is the point that I'm making my video. So if you are interested in how I got there, from the topic of confidence, be sure to check that out. And Zoe, oh yeah, totally go check her channel out. But know that like what you see there now is going to be completely redone. And like she's very, like she made those videos like a while ago when she was really different. So, I think she's in like a better place now with her like with her channel, and she's like really looking to like grow the aesthetic, and I'm really trying to encourage her to like get started on it because I'm so excited to have friends that also make YouTube videos with me. So yeah, so just like don't judge yet because it's gonna be changing a lot. And Alondra says, I think it's better to embrace where you come from because no matter what, your upbringings will always follow you and be with you for the better, whether you realize it or not. And I love that there's like agreement here because I totally agree that like our upbringing and our background is really like a blessing that we can use, or we can like try to hide it. And even if we try to hide it, obviously it's like the way we look, it's where we're from. You can't hide your past. And it's so real that like you might as well just like enjoy it and appreciate it because you're able to, you know? It's like there's so much to be gained. So why would we, you know, waste our time being mad about what we were born to be? Oh, Hazel is asking what Micah's up to. For those of you guys who don't know, Micah is my sister. She graduated Dartmouth this past year. And she is now working in consulting, being a real life adult and making money. So that's what she's up to. Very much less exciting, in my opinion, than Dartmouth life. So RIP for the recent grads, but yeah, that's what she's doing. So I'll tell her you asked. That's really sweet of you to be concerned about Micah and what she's doing. Oh yeah, Plantain Chip Lover says, what Alondra said, nothing wrong with liking another culture, but you can't abandon your own. And I think that's a great way to go about things, to just always embrace other cultures and be able to see the beauty in all of them, but not like to the point of disowning your own. And then Plantain Chip Lover also asks, have we talked about racial dating preferences and or stereotypes? No, I haven't. Do you guys have any particular questions in that area of like dating and whatnot? I will say it's like right off the bat, it's kind of an interesting thing where I think people are like definitely attracted to like certain types of people. Like people are attracted to certain looks or whatever. But it can get into like weird territory when it starts to be like fetishy. Like, I don't know. When people are like, oh yeah, Asian girls are so hot. Like that bothers me personally, where I'm like all Asian girls? You just like all Asian girls? Like why? You know? I'm honestly just curious. Like I don't know what it is. Like I probably can't. I don't think I can say like I love the way like one race of people look, because I'm like, people are so different. Like people look so different. I don't know. I just don't really understand. I totally get like types, like having types, because like a bunch of my friends are like, oh, like I love like the way Polynesian guys look or whatever, this type of culture. And I'm like, totally, that's awesome. But yeah, I don't know. When it becomes like a whole racial thing, I'm like, that is super interesting, because obviously culture plays a role too. Some people are like, I could only ever date someone who's like my ethnicity, which I think makes sense, because like I didn't think about that before I started dating someone. When I started dating someone, I was like, oh yeah, this makes a really big difference, like the culture you're brought up with. But anyways, I don't know, what do you guys think? What do you think about like having types, or like liking a certain like ethnicity or whatever, or like certain racial demographic romantically? Is that weird? Do you guys think that's weird? I don't know if I think it's weird. I just don't have it. Like I don't identify with that. Hergel saying, random, but In-N-Out versus Shake Shack. Oh my gosh, I couldn't be a true Californian and not say In-N-Out always. But Shake Shack is pretty good. It's just more expensive. And In-N-Out is like classic. They have like animal fries and like all of that. And Woo's asking Skillet versus Linkin Park. I've never heard Skillet, but I used to listen to Linkin Park when I was in middle school when they did the Twilight score, so I'm gonna say Linkin Park. Mara is asking, did your parents ever want you to stick with a particular ethnicity in terms of like who you dated? And no, they were just like, honestly, they were just like, we want them to love God and we want them to be a good person and like they have to approve of the individual. But in terms of like ethnicity, they never like said anything ever. And I didn't have like a preference in terms of ethnicity like growing up or even now. Like I'm not like I'm only gonna date like a Korean guy. Like I just am like I want to date someone who loves me, loves God, and has like, you know, my long list of other qualifications, but I never like rule anyone out. And Alondra's saying, I went no, single for life. No, not for life, just for now. It's okay, don't lose hope. That's what I thought going into college. And look at me now. Okay, Plantain Chip Lover is saying, culture is understandable in terms of like being attracted to a certain type of culture. But some white people are like, I need a Japanese husband. It's kind of weird. Yeah, that does sound kind of weird. And Plantain Chip Lover was also saying, like, jungle fever for black girls, like, some people are ridiculous. No, it's true. I think, like, sometimes, like, to me, like, jungle fever, yellow fever, that's where it starts to get, like, fetishy, and you're like, do you even like the person you're dating, or you just like, I just spit, oh my gosh, that's so gross. Do you even like the person you're dating, or do you just like them because, like, they fit a certain look that you want, or, like, an idea of something? And I think, like, people, I don't know, people shouldn't fantasize about other cultures. Let's just, like, get to know it. Get to know people. And it's good. I'm eating more food, sorry. And Moon says, please listen to Skillet. It's second best to Linkin Park. I will put it on my to-do list to listen to Skillet. Hazel is asking, is Sean as religious as you? I might say religious. I don't really like the word religious because it has like to me religion actually has negative implications. Like I don't like the idea of being like religion, strict rules, meh. Because to me it's so much more like yes, like I love God, relationship with God, and I get the opportunity to like experience that. But I get what you're asking. So in response to that, Sean and I are both Christian. Like we both have the same fundamental beliefs and whatnot. Obviously, like, I'm taking a year to go to ministry school, which is, like, beyond what most people do. So I'd say, like, Sean and I are in different places in terms of, like, where we're at on, like, the spectrum of, like, how invested, like, our lives are or how much we center them around our like, faith. But we both still share, like, the same core values, which is, like, to me, very important. Because I don't expect someone else to like also leave college for a year and devote a year of their life to go to ministry school, because that's just like not feasible for a lot of people, and also most people just don't have that like on their heart, you know. And I'm not gonna blame anyone for that. So that's my answer to that. Alondra's saying, I think it's acceptable to have some type of favorite in terms of like relationships and whatnot, but it's rare because I don't believe that you should judge people from their looks, but rather what they believe and do to better themselves. I agree, girl. Amen. That's awesome. Because it is true, like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, when we're just focused on looks, I'm like, what does that really do for us? Really, because you can marry a super attractive dude, but if he doesn't have the same, like, values that you're looking for, if he's not trying to grow as an individual, be a real man, then, like, it's for nothing, you know? So, like, sure, types are fun, and girls can talk about, like, girls and guys can talk about, like, having types, but in terms of, like, actually finding someone to be with for the rest of your life, or, you know, however long, hopefully, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't really mean a whole lot, because you're really looking for something, like, deeper than that. Yeah, and I also really agree with what Zoe's saying, with the whole, I need to date, you know, a certain race person. It's weird, aren't you saying, because you ignore the individual and equate them to a list of stereotypes, which I so agree with, because, like, I don't know. I think like in a way it can also feel kind of demeaning for the person that you're talking about, because they're like, well, like, what if I don't even identify with those parts of like my culture? I just was born this way and I just look this way. But like, they're also just an individual with their own unique characteristics. So it's like, don't demean your boo thing like that. Like, don't demean like your bae just to like a type of ethnicity, you know, because they deserve a lot more than that. And if you're dating someone, you probably went through a long screening process of finding someone who you really connect with, regardless of their race. And then Woo also says, he's suggesting Hero, Monster, Awake, and Alive. Are those song names? And then he also asked, what's your favorite Linkin Park that nobody heard about? Oh, I don't know Linkin Park well enough to know stuff that nobody else heard about. I only know like the really basic stuff, I'm sorry. Again, I was like 12 and watched Twilight, and that's how I found out about Linkin Park. Also, I'm going to change the name of this live stream, because I'm not really talking about The Secret Place or Intimacy with God anymore. I'm talking about Asian American identity, interracial dating. Actually, is that accurate? No, I'm going to say dating types. That's more accurate. And yeah. Amara is asking, how did you meet Sean? Maybe you mentioned it and missed it before, sorry. Oh, don't worry, I don't think I've mentioned it before. Wait, should I'm just gonna make the title dating. Anyway, sorry, I'm talking to the live stream. But, okay, so Sean and I met in college. We both went to Dartmouth together. We were actually both cooking for an event for the Christian group that we were both involved in. That, like, it's funny because we were both, like, very peripherally involved, because just, like, we were busy that term, or, like, I was in a different Christian organization at the time. But we both met at, like, the very end of the fall term, my freshman fall, because we were both helping cook. And it was, like, our one active participation in this group. So it was pretty random that we met, but I later found out that he was pretty close with my UGA. So we, like, hung out, did homework. Nothing really exciting. And that was, like, a full year before we started dating, so he was, like, in another relationship at the time. Like, we were both very, like, not close at all. When, like, we met and then he was off in the winter. So we really didn't speak till, like, spring term, and even then it was, like, at the end of spring term, because we were both, like, not close friends, so that's how we met. So, not the most amazing or romantic story. We didn't start dating for a while after we met, so that's how it happened. Alondra's, like, says, you're like my long-lost sister because I feel like I've known you forever. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet! Thank you, Alondra. You are amazing, and thank you so much for supporting me, and I'm glad you feel like you know me. Feel free to, always feel free to share about yourself so I can know you as well. And Wu has a lot more song suggestions. If anyone likes Linkin Park, he has song suggestions in the chat. I personally don't listen to a ton of Linkin Park anymore, but I did at a time, and it was good. It was great, so highly recommend. But yeah. Alright. Guys, I think that the stream is starting to run low on steam, and I also want to finish my dinner so I can start doing other work, because it's 8 p.m. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thanks. I love that we can just have these streams, and I always start out with topics I want to talk about, and they turn into, like, completely random whatever, like us just talking, which I think is super fun. So I appreciate you guys coming, just talking and enjoying hanging out, and you guys being able to talk to each other, being able to talk to me. And yeah, I love you guys all so much, and please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you're not a subscriber, join that J team where no one is a bench warmer, everyone's a playmaker. I love you guys. And bye, Spring. Thanks for just chatting and coming in and listening to me rant for half an hour. But you guys are the best, and really make me so happy to know that, like, yeah, I have this like awesome community of people here, and you guys are awesome. So I just want you to remember that always. And yeah, Zoe, I'm glad that you like the stream. Be sure to come back. I love you guys all, and I am bye, Dan, and I'm going to finish eating my dinner and be productive for the rest of the night. And I encourage you guys all to do the same. Okay, love you guys. Bye.